This is Kirby with Electric Fossil Studio in Milford, Delaware. And today I wanted to talk about the reverence that I have for rock and roll. So, like so many of you, if you're watching this, you were inspired by rock and roll. It got you through. And that could mean anything, by the way. It could mean The Cure, it could mean Chuck Berry, it could mean the Smashing Pumpkins, it could be Pantera, it could be Nirvana, it could be Pink Floyd, and I can go on and on and on. Whatever that means, I lump it all into rock and roll to me. Um, we all love music for our own reasons. Some songs remind you of a relationship. Some songs remind you of a good time. Some songs remind you of a bad time. Some songs got you through the bad times, or was your soundtrack to the good times, whatever it is. Or some song just, hey, it's got a good beat and I can dance to it, and it's got a good melody and I love singing along to it. It's cathartic to scream out, the Dua Lipa song or the Springsteen song or the Pantera song or whatever it may be, whatever your cup of tea. Um, all of the, and for me, it's no different. So like I fell in love with everything about rock music in particular. Uh, I have an affinity for late '80s, early '90s hip hop and country, really that same era. But mid '90s on, I just fell in love with rock music, alternative music, whatever you want to call it. Um, Fell in love with it because that time in my life, like a lot of people, you're going through the transition. You're going through the rites of passage. The middle school era when you go from being a kid to what is this kid thing, and then your interests change, and then you go to be what is becoming an adult, and there's a huge gap, and it feels like it never is going to end. The point when you're just 11 or 12 years old until you're 16, 17, it feels like the longest period ever. It's never going to get there fast enough. And you just feel awkward and weird all along the way. So what do you do? Well, movies, music, whatever your, cup of tea is. For me, it was music. It was rock music, and it was absorbing everything about it. The history, the how. How do you play this stuff? How was it recorded? How was it played? What amplifiers? What guitars? Who are the musicians? And what albums to listen to? There's so much music out there that the sad part about it is I'll never get to listen to all of the great music that I possibly could. There's not enough days, there's not enough time for me to hear all the great music that I would probably love. Um, so I'll just enjoy what I have listened to or I can listen to and call it a day. But I had so much reverence for it that it all culminated when I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in about October, November of 2000 in the Cleveland, Ohio, and it was incredible to see Jimi Hendrix, his guitar, his amplifier, some of his clothes, to see the Beatles' clothes, some of their guitars, Billy Gibbons' guitar, some Nirvana stuff, Led Zeppelin's drum set, and some of their gear, some of their clothes. I think the exhibit was a John Lennon exhibit. So it had his glasses and some of his handwriting and some of his notes, his lyric books. Incredible. Incredible. The whole thing was amazing to me. And when I look back, I kind of go, I remember there was one moment where they had like a highlight reel of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony from like the beginning until now, and that I teared up because it was so beautiful. All of it is so beautiful, and it's such a wonderful thing, music and rock and all of it. that I realized how important it was to me and what it did for me, what it did to get me through. So all of this is a celebration of that, which is it so means so much. It meant so much, and I love being a part of it, being able to translate new music, whether it be with Lincoln City, with other bands like Bastion's Wake, or Weighing In, or Revulator, or Dutchman, or whomever, or the Dune Hounds, all these other bands that have recorded here. I love being able to help them uh, get their message, to have their part of the experience, be a part of history, be a part of music history. It's because somebody is going to get have a connection to their music, even if it's a oh I love that riff, or I love that melody, or I love that, or I love the entire catalog. Hopefully that's the case, but it means a lot for people. Kids keep growing, and they keep going through hard times. They keep having that 12 to 15, 12 to 16 window is tough for everybody. I think probably a little bit more tough now than it was when I was growing up for various reasons. But uh, rock and roll, it never let me down, and it always got me through it. And I think it probably does for a lot of you as well. So keep that in the forefront of your mind, that when you're playing your music, you're triggering a memory for somebody. So if you see somebody out in the crowd, and let's just say they're 65 years old, the mid 70s, you play music from the mid 70s for somebody in that age group, and that's that 12 to 16 window, they're going to have a reaction, chances are, to that. And they're going to remember, oh man, I remember that relationship. I remember, oh, that was brutal. Oh, the acne, whatever. They were skinny, they were fat, they were popular, they're unpopular. They had the cool car, they didn't have the cool car. They had a rough family life, they had a beautiful family life, whatever it may be. All the experiences of life, that's going to really is resonated in that little window of time. And so it's important. You may think it's just another song in the set, but somebody, it means something, and it brings them back to a specific point in time. So hopefully it helps. If you'd like to book some time to record your band, I'm looking in October as far as like openings and things like that, to get bands back in here as everybody's winding down the summer. So feel free to reach out through Instagram, Facebook, or you can contact me at electricfossil@yahoo.com. Again, it's Kirby. Talk to you soon.